finally great to meet you and see you face to face.
I'm not sure we've ever met face to face, to be honest with you.
We haven't, but I heard great things about you, Rich. I read about your story. I heard about it. Um, just phenomenal. I think who a mortgage broker who they work with really matters today.
I agree.
And
especially in purchases.
absolutely. Down to the income, all the way after the loan closes as well. You know, we are still part of that transaction with that loan officer after the loan closes.
Yeah.
Because in today's environment, we're basically selling off all the servicing. So sometimes the borrower may not get the statement, or maybe their taxes are wrong.
Right.
Working with an account executive in a team that understands the wholesale business, understands that we're here the life of the loan, just like the.
Well, you are. Here's the thing that we don't get anymore. And this is my biggest thing. People, oh God, so-and-so has the 8th better rate. And I'm like, yeah, but who is so-and-so? That's like our 5th AE for that so-and-so company when you can get it done over here, but that 1/8 of a percent. And I'm like, I don't sell rates. I literally don't, because truthfully, you're all very similar on a given day. I sell getting the job done. I sell in a timely manner. I sell trust, and it's not trust to the borrower. I'm going to be very clear. It's the agents, the loan officers. Those are my clients as the broker. Right. They go out and get the borrowers. But if I can't perform when they get a borrower, and then I find out, oh God, why'd you do it? Hey, Rich, can you make a quick call for me? I'm like, cool. Which one is it? Nicole? No, it's such and such. I'm like, holy crap, who's that? And I have people say, hey, Rich, I'll be glad to help you. Why don't you send me a little extra business and then we could have a conversation. But if you're going to send me one deal a year and then ask me for a favor, and I'm like, so I already know the conversation. And so I tell people, hey, you don't let me in on the front side to guide you. Please don't ask me to come in behind you to save the deal, because you chased something that day and it blew up. Right? There's a reason why, if you're not going to take the advice from the best of the best, our top 50 loan originators who are very similar in volume for the most part, and look where they go, and you're going to go be a lone wolf, well, you're going to be fighting a lot of battles on your own. You better be really good at what you do, because there's a reason why people don't go to those lenders. Right. Inconsistency. No relationship. The AE is very inexperienced. This is what we get with you. We get a live underwriter, and I take a deal that's kind of old school. I call it old school because everybody does it different. It's not so much an assembly line, but that underwriter can pick up the phone and say, hey, Rich, let's talk this one out, because what do we got going on here? But I have an underwriter on the phone, and we're going to talk it through. They're going to have my file, and we're going to come to a conclusion, especially if I can set the underwriter up correctly and say, hey, this is what's going on. I'm not trying to fool you in any way, shape, or form. This is why I sent it to you. This is what I'm seeing and what I'm seeing and why I think this is a good loan. And they can agree or not agree, but that person has underwriting authority, and all they got to do is communicate correctly there. So there are strengths to that I call that old school a little bit, because unfortunately a lot of places got away from that. The bigger you get, sometimes they have 2 or 3 underwriters, 1s and 2s, and someone even higher up, and everybody has specifics. Right?
Too many hands in the pot, not to cut you off, but I've been a wholesale account executive for about 27 years, and I've worked ops my first round in the industry, right? I started off in the funding department, played a little bit there for about 9 months, then rolled into the account manager role, which I thought the account manager role is, I know, I grew fast. That's why you'll see why I'm an account executive today, because I do get bored. I like different scenarios. I like hard things. Every day I learn something different in this industry.
You do have some of the toughest loan officers too. I mean, high-end loan officer like Stephanie Gilbert, she ain't going to mess around. If you're not quality to her life and business, she just wouldn't do it. I mean, the quality by who you're dealing with too says a lot, especially on our side over here.
Yes, absolutely. We need to bring value to our LOs, right? If we're not bringing value, what good are we? Is the way I look at it. I will never market a loan officer random like tiles to an email or something. I'm going to bring value. I'm going to bring, hey, what changed in the 4000.1? This is what it used to be. This is what it is today. Same thing with Fannie Mae, right? I'll sit down on a Saturday and I'll write out what changed to everybody. And I do it on the weekend so I could really take that time and put myself in a loan officer's shoes to understand the and or the or in every scenario. So when they also come to me and ask me about scenarios, I'll give them, when we hang up, a scenario for all the agencies, because what if they hang up and the borrower happens to go FHA? 9 times out of 10, they don't want to bug the account executive. So I'm just going to overly give, and they could just take what they want out of it, right? Going back to when I initially started, I was in the account manager role. That role is to kind of help an account executive build their business, right? And the business that they bring in to keep it rolling. Fun fact, I was actually Kelly Sweeten's account manager years ago.
Who's?
Kelly Sweeten, speaking.
No way, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Kelly and I worked at Conti together. Then our company shut down.
Lord, we're going back now.
Way back. So it was my subprime days. I guess you could say I started in the industry in the subprime days, which is great for loan officers today, right?
You understand loans, you understand lending for sure.
And I think that really helps us accounting executives that do agency loans and non-QM loans. Lenders kind of want to break that up where, we're going to hire a non-QM AE. I don't share accounts. I don't believe in that. I believe in wholeheartedly serving the loan officer with every ounce of my heart. Like, if I don't know the answer, I'm never going to answer. I'll go find it, right? We don't know everything. Sure. I will go find the answer. When I worked at Stearns Lending, I built out kind of like, I guess, a team, you would say, for folks coming out of the retail division. Before it was a lot different. Yeah. So I wanted my own team. I wanted a setup team, because these folks that are coming out of retail, they're going to go to all these different lenders, right? And like you said, there's maybe
it's overwhelming
underwriters on one file. That's too many hands in the pot for me, especially a loan officer that has to use maybe 5 different lenders in a given week. Who do I go to? What do I do? Right? So that's where I'm a little bit different. I built it out where I handpicked everybody on my team over the last 17 years down to the underwriters. So I think we have coverage from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. at night. It's very important to always be on the email, because 2 hours in this industry is like 6 hours, right?
Tell me about it.
We like to call ourselves Team Foster, and we really, really dig in and help. And I like to say the old school way as well, because that's where I come from. We don't do TBDs that kind. I don't believe in a TBD. I believe in honing in on income and sending that over, or honing in on a credit issue and an AUS. Like, we're smart enough to look at an AUS and credit and say, yeah, we're going to be able to do that. Doing TBDs at my past company that happened to be Home Point, I just feel like underwriters really don't hone in on a TBD. They just want to get it in and out of their desk, right? And then once they get into contract, that's when they're really going to hone in. And at that point, it's just too late. It's just too late for that. So we, the whole entire team, just really, really caters to loan officers and processors. And if we pivot to closing, I will say that in 2025 society, pick up UWM and rockets fall out. That's just how it is today, right? Yeah. Their MI kicks our butt. When a loan comes out of UWM or Rocket, we have to pivot to that close date. So if it's 7 days, we have to close the purchase in 7 days. We're going to do it.
You always start from a deficit.
And that's where we shine. That really, really, really shine is really coming in when a loan officer really needs us.
No, you guys have done a great spot, because that's what you do for us, and it's worked out, because now we're doing hundreds of loans, so it works out now to be many more deals, for kind. And here's the thing, that's maybe how you get them in the door, but you also, some of the people, you let them get there too many times, and you perform, they don't always come back. Right? Because I'm just going to go there anyways, because they get used to it. We have a good setup, and I get the 70% of our business goes to UWM because the core line and stuff like that.
And in my Rich, I mean, if
it is
loan officers, like if I see a 745, 95%, I might beat their rate a little bit, but they're going to beat me in MI, and we have to really look at that as account executives, because it really goes back to who you work with matters. It really does.
It does. But here's my thing. There's other things here. I never ask you guys to go on these conversations because you're going to be subservient to anybody from a Rocket to a UWM. I'm not asking you to be a UWM. I'm asking you to be a kind, because you're really good at it. You know, same with Kelly Sweet. I'm like, you're really good at what you do. Sure, if Kind wants to get 7,000 people working for him, you know, maybe they could go into that market. But I get that you don't, but you're really good at what you do. And so this isn't a secondary conversation. You're number one at what you do. You guys take it even further. Don't you do the yearly thing where Kind puts on the event? I mean,
we have our Vibe event. It's
right.
phenomenal.
People love that event. You really do something for the loan originators, and it's always, matter of fact, I'm coming out to that one. Seems like you always do it right around AIM time for some reason. Where's that going to be at this year?
We'll have it in Vegas again, but it's
Okay.
a great event. It's a great pick me up. It's not about, hey, come use Kind. No, it's to make everybody better in this industry.
That's what I like about it.
And
Truly, people go there. Yeah.
we miss that. You know, I'm not upset because one of my top LOs uses UWM or uses another lender. At the end of the day, you have to do it the best for the borrower.
Well, and that's just it. The fact that we can pivot and do different things. I think UWM is great at some things. There's some things I don't think they have an appetite for. I'm not gonna say they're bad at it. They just don't have an appetite for. And when you figure out those things, it's like, you know, there's sometimes I need right to a top underwriter that has the authority to have that conversation. I don't want to go through a underwriter one, underwriter two, and then have to escalate because I know there's going to be a conversation. My self-employed people that have multiple properties, I have a lot of investors. I don't always do well with those at UWM. Back in the day, even at Rocket, you know, Home Point used to do phenomenal with that for me. That they seemed like they would take anything that I was willing to package correctly. Nobody wants crappy files, but some of my investors, now we have DSCR. Do you guys offer DSCR at Kind?
We do. We offer it with no rent ratio too. It's fabulous. Yeah, we
like
have
it.
a nice non-QM department.
Okay.
We're very kind over there when it comes to underwriting.
I mean, that's been a game changer for me and my investors. When I think of some of the packages I've had to put together, and I'm like, I've offered underwriter one. People are like, well, Rich, it's 0.5% higher, and I'm like, that's when the first rental somebody gets, they want Fannie. I'm like, I don't do that no more. DSCR, or I'm gonna give you somebody else, because my best people with 100 doors, they trust DSCR. They know the difference, and they're like, the numbers work, get it done fast. And I've learned a lot from that too, and how I talk to my clients, people wanting to go down that path. In my own investments, I don't chase rate. I chase ease, speed, because I can use those to my advantage to get my deals done. What's your average turn times over there at Kind right now?
On agency staff, we run about 24 hours into every department.
Okay.
However, somebody might need something today. So we do everything in our power to stop, drop, and roll and give that loan officer what they need.
All right.
Because somebody's questioning them, right? There's always a moving van waiting or something. So we just pivot.
I know, because I pay for a few of those every month. When I
we just pivot all day, Rich. That's all we do all day. I have 3 account managers. My main one is Colleen Wimberly. Her and I probably spend about 2 hours throughout the day on the phone. Okay. Pivot. It's almost like we're in a corner with wiffle balls thrown at us, right? And that's what our brain feels like. It's all day long. We probably get about 3 emails a minute between your texts, your calls, just everything.
I'm embarrassed because I know what's going on behind the scenes right now this second, believe me.
A good account executive probably works in today's environment 13 hours a day. Sundays, I truly want to give that to my family. On Sundays, I'm not gonna lie, I have a 15-year-old son. I cut out to his baseball games. Fridays,
high school baseball player.
Yeah, he's a freshman. Very big into his sports. So I have 3 children. This job has allowed me. I might work 13-hour days. However, this job has allowed me to be with my children, to go on field trips, to go to their class parties, to go to every sports game. And when these sports games are right after school. I feel like I'm the lucky one to have this job and have the ability to spend that time with them, right? Go to every cheer, go to every softball game that Janelle had ever played. So it's phenomenal. I really love my job. I really love working for loan officers. I love serving the processors. It takes a village nowadays to get loans done. And
It does.
anything that we could do up front, Janelle, my oldest daughter, she works with me. She's worked with me probably about 5 years now. She did the whole college thing. I was working at Stearns at the time when she graduated, and I said, "Hey, come draw some docs." She's like, "I don't want to do what you do, Mom."
Now she's
5 years later, yeah,
Yeah.
she's here.
I think Kelly's
So-
daughter is doing
Yeah.
it too. So I see how this works. I see how it works.
Yeah.
Draw them in slowly.
I think I would love to just hand my territory over to my son because I feel like he has the same mentality as me at such a young age already. So I want to hand it over to somebody. You don't build that much.
Did that out. No 15-year-olds allowed in our industry.
Yeah, not yet.
Not till next year, 2026. All right, so I know you go 100 miles an hour. Everybody knows you're an AE. Everybody knows you're a top AE. Everybody knows kind kicks butt and just keeps powering through. But I want to know something different. I get so many sick of people saying, "All right, Nicole, oh, she's an AE." AE. No, Nicole has a life too. And sometimes we have to take a minute to say it's the people behind the AE. And I got a million, but they're not the same, right? Who's Nicole when Nicole is, you said a little bit of it, but I mean, come on, hobby. What kind of hobbies do you have?
I love to garden.
Okay.
I love my grandsons.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, so I have 3 children. Had my first child when I was 18.
Wow.
Girl. Second, very young. We started young, and then we waited a while. We had another girl when Janelle was 9, so 9 years later, and then 6 years later we had our boy. So we have Jack. So we spread them out, and I like
They are spread out. Wow.
change that for anything because again, I wasn't fighting to go to certain games. I think it's different for the kids because they were raised by their parents at, teenage, 20s, 30s. So I think each child got a different version of parenting. But at the end of the day, we always parent to respect others, always respect your elders. If somebody cooks, you jump up and you do the dishes, right? That's how my kids were raised. So other than my children, my grandchildren, I have twin grandsons. They are almost 3 years old. She has another one on the way. I love to garden. I love spending time with my mom on the weekends. I think that's very important. A little bit about me. I didn't grow up with my parents. My parents were both drug addicts. I was raised on the streets. So everything that I got in my life, I've earned myself. I went out there and just knocked on broker doors, tried to get the business in. So
I did not know this story, just so you know.
And my mom, I lost my father 2 years ago. My mother got off heroin 2 years ago.
All right.
Amazing, right? I prayed every day since the 5th grade. I turned my life over to God. About that age, I was living with my grandfather, and every day till 2 years ago, I would pray my mom would get clean, and my father, of course. So now I pray for her health, and I'm just very happy. So that's a little about me on the weekend. I don't really have a lot of hobbies. Just basically gardening in the family.
No, but I hear it makes a little more sense now. The depth of who you are, how you do it, the work ethic. It just came full circle for me. Thank you for sharing that. Most people always want the Reader's Digest and the Facebook version. They don't want to hear or listen to how people really get to it. I kind of get that all the time too. Rich, tell us how you got 600. And I'm like, I don't think you really want to know. It's not all up. I've lost everything a few times in my life. I
went through that.
Nothing beats me though, right? I learn, regroup, and I'm back on it.
We got to learn from it. Absolutely.
It's been an interesting 3 years, but you've been having incredible success with our company.
Absolutely.
I can only assume the other companies feel the same way. I know people talk very highly of you and things like that. You've been our number 2, which people say, "Oh, big deal." I'm like, no, we have 600 plus loan originators. You understand? We're doing hundreds and hundreds of loans. Hell, we might even hit 1,000 loans within 2 months.
Hundreds of scenarios too, right? And
right. You're just behind every loan's 5 scenarios.
Right. And I feel some account executives today they almost cherry pick those scenarios, right?
Yeah, they do.
Like I had somebody ask me, well, why do you feel you need to get back to every loan officer? Even if they never even closed a loan with you, or maybe they closed one deal with you, or maybe they bug you all the time and you pull their numbers and you see that they sent it to somebody else. Because it's my duty to. It's my duty. I don't look at it like that. I look at, well, Maybe the first 6 scenarios didn't get her or him to use us, but the 7th will.
Right.
They'll need me eventually. And that I'm building relationships as I'm doing those scenarios. The loan officer may have found a better rate somewhere. And that's fine. As long as I did my job and I was able to service that LO, I'm great.
All right. So here's some business stuff. You guys have your own crystal ball like everybody else. What are you seeing are you seeing a pickup in apps since January 1st? Are you seeing people starting to get busier early on? I know we're seeing that. January, February, March, April, like it hit early this year and it has not backed up.
I think like typically March is when it starts picking back up, but I see January, the first 2 weeks of January were a little bit slow, but then it was just like, open up the floodgates. So it's very busy. Fun fact, last year was Team Foster's largest year ever.
Wow. Congratulations.
We hit a milestone that we really, really didn't think that we would hit. I bet Glenn Necker Island on it, and I won. So Glenn's working out Necker Island for us right now.
There you go. There you go. Hey, where do you live at? Well,
I live in Northern California, born and raised here in Modesto.
All right. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Yeah. And where's Kind located at?
Kind is located in Orange, California.
Okay, Southern California. Okay.
So very local.
Makes a lot of sense.
I love having the corporate office there because one, they're on my time zone, which is phenomenal. If it ever came down, sometimes we can clear to, if we have to do this, we can clear to close, dock, and fund all in a day. So that's nice. Beautiful. That's another reason why it's awesome to have them right here in California with us. And they're probably about a 5-hour drive from me, or an hour flight right by Disneyland. And when you fly into Orange, you'll see the Kind sign right there.
I did not know that. How many people do you guys have total? Is all underwriting out of the corporate office and everything?
No. My team lead for underwriting is in corporate office. Everybody else is out of their houses. So
okay. Okay there?
Both people all work out of their houses here. Like Colleen's probably a mile.
It's like the new things. I mean, it is what it is. Ever since COVID, I mean, people figured out you can get everything. Even my admins on the payout departments in Northern California, our corporate office in Georgia, we use everything from the time zone. So we have people, we get those extra 3 hours in a day. And I have incredible partners too. I mean, that used to be AE. So what you don't know is as of February 1st, really, but January 1st, I was like, hey, we've hit 600 people. I need to get out from behind the desk. Like I hate this part of the business. I also do real estate, but I could be helping our loan officers. Like, are we trying to get 600 more, or do we want to help the 600 we already have? I never said I wanted to have more loan officers in Nexa or something like that. I want quality, not quantity. Mm-hmm. And so that 80-20 rule, I'm like, well, I don't like the 80-20 rule. I'd rather, I want to help everybody down the line because I never know who the next Brandy Stevens is or the next Stephanie Gilbert is, mm-hmm. Top originators, because they all start somewhere and you just got to teach them how to turn the dial a little bit. And this is kind of why I'm doing this, because people say, Rich, who do you use? And I'm like, I use about 6 people. If it's beyond that, I probably don't want to do it because it's so far-fetched. It's not my best interest, because when I take on those deals, Nicole, usually they blow up on me and then people think I'm stupid and then they don't want to do business.
It's reputation.
Reputation.
That's all they're going to remember is your last deal.
Yeah, I could do it. There you go. You can do what you want, but I push it. But I will push it to you first to get your insight. And when your top people say, I'm not liking it, it's like, okay, I'm going to let this one go. Because even though they get mad at me in the moment, when someone else says, I'll try it, they will remember the last mm-hmm. person who touched that file, which is crazy to me. All right, I want you're answering every question without me even asking. I'm hearing the pivotal parts of your life.
Say something just really fast. That mentality of what you just said is how everybody on our team thinks and acts, down to the underwriters, down to the funders. So we all have that same mentality.
When is your Kind event this year?
October. It'll be sometime in October. I don't think we've rolled out a date yet. But
I hear nothing but good stuff. I'm going to make sure I'm out there. I've never gone to one, but I because typically it's right about the same time. It was last year. It seems they were like back to back or something. It's hard for me to be out of the office that long with everything we have going on, but this year should be freed up a lot different. So I'm excited about that. Because matter of fact, I'm in Arizona next week. We're looking, we hit all over, but people ask me why I do these interviews, and I'm like, because nobody does it. Nobody recognizes their top people. They just use and abuse, and they assume that it's like, oh, AE, a tool. And I'm like, no, they're beyond that. They are so incredible what they do for us. And if you treat them like that, you'll get like tenfold out of it. My business took off when I stopped chasing rates, when I started chasing relationships. And, I've never looked back. And like I said, if I get outside of my six, because you guys make me look good, you make our company look good. I have people working weekends, single moms, stuff like that. And I'm like, just stay to the core six and don't get out of that because, something is changing out there. Maybe it's not 100% going, but we're seeing it on our side. Record imports back to back to back months for the first time since we opened, but it's happening and we're staffing up. It seems like we're constantly growing. So we've been very blessed in the middle of a weird industry too. But I believe, you haven't been doing this for a year. You've been doing this for quite a while. And success follows successful people. And your whole platform, everything you do, just emulates success. So congratulations on that. That's not, I can't say that about everybody, believe me.
Process all the time. Like, it's hard to run a team. It takes more than, a lot of people like to say we're a well-oiled machine. It takes some time to do that, and it takes
some trial and error in there
every single day to get in there and make it happen. But we do, and it takes people. You know what I mean? It takes good people.
Right. Well, tell me this: what is the best advice you could give to a loan officer? Like they're coming to Kind, and maybe they're used to Rocket or UWM, but obviously there's difference. It's like, what makes for a successful transaction with a loan officer at Kind? Like, is there anything specific in the way you guys do stuff, or be aware of this as you're doing it? Like, do I draw my own docs, or is there a doc drawer?
I like to say at Kind, when you come over here, we're going to hold your hand from beginning to the very end till you want to let go. I'm going to show you the lock desk. I'm going to show you your underwriters. When Janelle makes codes for everybody, she'll send out a team list. And on that team list, you got from Kevin at the top of the underwriting that doesn't underwrite. He's just strictly there for like Colleen and I to go to, and then he also has a lead for the underwriters to go to. So if an underwriter comes to clear to close and, hey, Samantha can't get it to it today, we're going to have Tina pop in, who's Kevin's person right underneath him, right, to come in and help that situation out. CDs, we kind of tossed around maybe having the processors do their own CDs. We are going to open that up. But I have Jessica, who I've worked with for probably about 10 years, that has always done the CDs on Team Foster. So when you come over here, you kind of, it's like a little family to the loan officers. Like, they know Jess. Sure. They know if Jess says she's going to get their CD out, that CD is going to go out. So it's just not me. We have actual human beings with names that know the loan officers, and the loan officers know them. And I think that's so huge to know them by name. You don't really get that in the wholesale space, and you don't get that comfort. And like Dean is our funder, right? If Dean says, okay, I'm going to fund that, a loan officer knows they can go out throughout their day and Dean's going to fund that. So I think having people in the same people that they're dealing with day in and day out is huge.
Oh, definitely.
You hold their hands from beginning to end until they're ready to let go.
No, and it shows because that's how people talk, and that a lot of people from the retail channel need that hand holding.
Absolutely.
I've seen that even in our case.
It's hard for them to wrap their brain around too, that whole pricing thing, right? LPC, they're not used to LPC, and then you guys have non-Del, so that's just another thing that us out here we have to explain. So yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
No, that's okay. It's good. I mean, that's where we shine as good account executives, right? It's just another way to build a relationship.
You guys do a great job.
Every scenario, every ask, I always tell people, no question's a stupid question. I'd rather you ask than not ask and you get caught because it's your reputation. Your reputation is my reputation.
Right. You know what's funny? My top AEs, they can barely sit still because I know what's going on because my phone's going off too.
Like,
I didn't mean to hold you down like this, but obviously this is like our third time trying to get this in because I want people to know. People said, Rich, who do you use? And I'm tired of saying it. I'm like, I'm going to go interview these people and I'm going to put it right in front of them and say, this is the person that I use and this is why I use them. Let's listen to them and understand they're the best of the best. And you are best of the best. And you deserve that acknowledgement, and so I can't say thank you enough. Our success is because of you as well. You're part of that success, and we're very thankful to you, very thankful to Kind. We appreciate the partnership, and that's what it is. It's a partnership. It's not, can I sneak one in on Nicole? It's like, no, I need Nicole today, tomorrow, a year from now, 2 years from now. Hundreds and hundreds of borrowers are counting on Kind, to be there for us. So thank you for taking up that role and just always making us look good, because behind the scenes there's an incredible lender, incredible AE, incredible team, and now it's starting to make a little more sense. But man, I wish you nothing but success in 2025. I hope you end up being number one again, and you will be if you're going to hang out with us, because we're going to help make that happen. But
yeah, Rich.
Nicole, you're awesome. I thank you so much for all you do for us. I just really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
All right, that's it. That's my interview. I wasn't going to hold you on too long, but I'm going to go through it, edit it up once I get it from you, and I'll make it look good. And I'm going to put it in front of 600 plus originators, 150 processors, and growing. Because I want, and on top of it, I'll get you some views from the YouTube side. I'll promote it because I want to make sure other people know who you are, if you're okay with that.
Absolutely. No question's a stupid question.
I agree. All right. Thank you so much.
Can I just add, don't forget who you work with matters. And down to the EPOs too, Rich, right? Early payoffs. The loan officers, some of them don't know about that. So when they work with a lender like Kind and we waive those for an amazing company like Xpert.
What? I didn't hear that. That's recorded. Are you sure you want to say that?
I know. Yeah.
All right. You're awesome.
We've already waived one for you guys last year, so.
All right.
That's just something else they don't need to worry about.
Well, I got a couple bulldogs, if I remember right. Is it bulldogs? I got these bulldog awards that all came in at the same time or something. I'm like, what's this? Is it bulldogs or is it
That's because you're an alpha dog. That's the best of the best.
All right. Well, best of the best with us too, and we appreciate the partnership. We really do.
Thank you.
All right, girl. You take care and thank you so much.
Hey, you're welcome. Bye-bye, Rich.
Bye.